What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. I just came from the movie theaters after watching Let Him Go, starring Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, and Leslie Manville. First of all, I'm glad to be back in the theater, enjoying that experience, eating that popcorn and all that jazz. Yeah, I was away for a while because the theaters were just not releasing anything good. And now they are. So, welcome back. Welcome back. Also, it's always a pleasure to see two seasoned vets like Kevin Costner and Diane Lane show you that they still got it. They still got the acting chops, man. I have my favorite movie from Kevin Costner, which is The Bodyguard. Then I have my favorite from Diane Lane, which is Unfaithful. So, those are two favorites I have from them already. But then, I want to say like probably 5 seconds before I did the review, I just slowly realized that these two played the parents of Superman in Man of Steel. How cool is that? How cool is that? So obviously they realized that they had strong chemistry and they were ready to show that again and Let Him Go. All right. Now let's get back to the review. Let Him Go. For those who are not aware, and I'm sure there's a lot who are not aware because this just came out today. This just came out. This is fresh. This is fresh off the screen. Let Him Go is about two elderly people, Margaret Blackledge and George Blackledge, who had a son who died in a horse riding accident. All right, and he left behind a wife and a son of his own. Now, years later, the widow remarries. And of course, the grandparents, they already had probably a little bit of an issue with that, as a lot of people would. But they also felt like there was something a little off about her new husband, Donnie Weboy, because she married into the Weboy family. It's a very famous family in Dakota, north or south, wherever Dakota, the part of Dakota they're at. It's a very famous family over there, supposedly. So the Weboy family she married into, right? And they had a bad feeling about this already. That bad feeling was confirmed one day when the grandmother was just chilling in her car, minding her business. She looks out of her car and she sees the new hubby, old Donnie, hit her grandchild in the face for not accepting some food that he was trying to give the grandchild. Then he turns around and he slaps the hell out of the baby mother. All right. Of course, this infuriates the grandmother. This infuriates her. She didn't jump out and do anything yet. I don't know why, but she held it within her. She got home and then it ate up inside her so bad. It was burning inside of her so much that she was like, okay, you know what? This is it. We're going to go get our grandkid back. I know something was wrong from the get. She finally told, George. And we're going to go get him back. So when she goes to check on them, they have all of a sudden moved out of their apartment or their little hotel, wherever they were staying. They moved out already. And so they get word that they moved all the way back to where all the rest of the Weboys are at. All right. Somewhere deep down in the woods of Dakota. And now, Grandpa and Grandma are ready to ride and go get their grandkid. For real. It's they're done playing games. Let's go. Let's do this. This is not cool. All right. And that's where the adventure kind of takes off. All right. Now, positives. And as you can already kind of tell, this is one of those movies that makes me or it's going to make the audience feel a certain type of way. It's going to make the audience feel a certain type of way, because it made me feel a certain type of way once the little grandkid got slapped. Look, let me tell you something, man. If I'm a grandparent and my son dies, and then the baby mother remarries to somebody that I already don't like, and I see you hit my son, my grandson, oh, it's on. It's about to be on. Or I'm jumping out that car and doing something. I can't till right now, I can't understand how she held herself in that car. How she contained herself like that. Because no, I don't play that. No, that's not being played. That's a game that's not being played. So from there, I already was feeling a certain type of way. The emotions were rising. I was angry. I was so upset. I almost jumped out of my seat. Okay. And then there were like a whole bunch of other scenes that, got me riled up. And they all were involving the freaking Weboy family. That is the worst family in cinematic history right now. Okay, let me tell you something right now, man. I have never hated a whole family so much. This movie made me hate a whole family. You know how when they say that somebody has a punchable face? The whole family has a punchable face. I want to punch the whole family, man. I wanted to punch the whole damn family. Okay? Some more than others. And the mother was just the worst one. She was the worst one. Oh my God. Some people don't need to be parents. Some people don't need to be parents at all. This was just, I can't think of a family that I hate more than the Weboys. Maybe I can, but we're not going to get into that right now, okay? We're talking about the Weboys. They were just trash, horrible people. And that's good. You know why? Because that you want to hate the antagonists. And you had a whole family of them to do. All right? You had a whole family to hate. You want to hate the antagonists. You want to get that emotion from the villains. All right? Did a great job of that. They did their job. They did their job. Another thing that I liked about this, I couldn't call the time period. I couldn't tell what time period this was in. And yeah, I like that because it put some little bit of, mystery to it. Like when was this supposed to be based? Because there was an old school register used in one of the scenes that I know they don't use anymore. Now, I kind of just chalked it up to, okay, maybe they're so country that they don't use new registers, but no, that can't be the case, because then I realized they never used cell phones through the whole movie. I never saw one cell phone in this movie. Not one cell phone. So I really had to wonder what time period these people were in, because it just felt, and the cars were so old school. Okay, but it had different kind of old school cars. I did not see one modern car, but then it just felt they had the new school, swag about them. So what time period is this? I kind of like that. Now, negatives. There's not too many negatives. Let's say this. There's a character in there that he's a Native American. His name is Peter Dragswolf. Pretty interesting introduction of the character, but he was quite useless. They could have done so much more with Peter Dragswolf, man, but they didn't. He was useless. Maybe for a place to stay. He provided a place to stay at one time, and then he provided a horse, and that was it. Okay, he could have done so much more, especially toward when it was time to shine, when it was time to do what you do. they could have had him do so much more in this movie. And I felt that was an underused character. And, you know, you get a little points off of that one. Also, this movie kind of dragged from time to time, especially during the flashbacks, when they try to show you how the family was when the son was alive and all this other stuff, you know, and how they had to shoot a horse one time and all this. I understand that they're trying to make you feel that flashback, but, you know, it might have dragged on for a little too long, man. All right, it's honestly dragged on for it's quite a little too long. Other than that, man, I can't think of another, you know, negative about this movie. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, besides the fact that some people made some decisions they shouldn't have made. Like, why didn't she tell Grandpa or Pawpaw earlier what happened with the grandson? That bothered me a little bit, you know, but with that being said, this movie still gets a hell yeah. Oh my God. When you can, now you already know what it is, man. Look, when you can rile up my feelings like that, when you can make me just get anxious or excited from no matter what the scene is like that, you won me over. You won me over. I you know, it's I already knew what it was halfway through the movie. That was just, I'm sorry, I'm telling you, that was just the worst family ever. The Weboys, man. Remember that name. Remember that name, Weboys. Jesus Christ, man. You know, I want you to like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Oh yeah, by the way, these had to be two of the toughest grandparents I've ever seen, man. They went against a whole family. Okay? These grandparents are not baking cookies and knitting sweaters. These were some gunslingers. These are some gunslingers. Kudos to Margaret and George Blackledge. They even got gangster last names. Kudos.